Hello, it is 12 noon in Oslo. It's 6 a.m. in Washington. I'm Monita Rajpal.
And I'm Zain Verji. You're watching World One live from London. Also ahead,
the American people may have voted for divided government.
Prime Minister David Cameron is demanding an urgent review into extreme right-wing groups in the UK in the wake of Friday's shooting and bomb attack in Norway. It is alleged that this man, Anders Breivik, who's admitted to carrying out the attacks, had links with the English Defence League, an organisation here in the UK. The claims came in a document thought to have been written by Breivik and posted online just before the attacks. CNN cannot yet confirm if he is the author. Norway are questioning if their country will ever be the same again. In an interview with CNN's Nick Robertson, Prime Minister Jens Stoltenberg says his country will remain an open society, but he admits his nation has changed.
Of course, it's a difficult time for me, but it's so much more difficult for those who have lost their loved ones, those who have lost children, friends, relatives, and those who are still in hospital.
10 days to go, the U.S. president has called on Americans to tell their lawmakers to work out a compromise to avoid a devastating default. Barack Obama made a televised address on Monday night to sell his plan to slash the federal budget deficit. He said the government should cut spending and raise taxes. It is the second part of that recipe that's being blocked by Republicans. The U.S. could face rising interest rates and a declining dollar if there's no deal to raise the legal limit on government debt by this time next week. Friends and family are saying their final goodbyes to Amy Winehouse. The singer's funeral is being held this Tuesday. It's described as a small private event and the location has not been revealed. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused her death. An autopsy was performed on Monday, but the toxicology results won't be known for at least 2 to 4 weeks. The 27-year-old was found dead in her London home on Saturday. Well, Atika Shubert is outside the singer's London home where fans have been gathering to pay tribute, and they still continue to show up there, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's astonishing in that there have been people here every single day since Saturday just coming and bringing flowers, lighting candles. There's poetry here, artwork. And what's really astonishing here is the way her music seemed to have crossed boundaries across different generations. We see young fans, older fans, but also there are messages here in languages from all over.
Now, Winehouse's producer, Salam Remy, worked with the singer from the time she was first discovered at the age of 18, and the pair had been planning to attend a friend's wedding together, but she died just a day before. He tells CNN she was like a sister to him and that her struggle with substance abuse never prevented her from being a decent human being.
She had issues, but at the same time, she never let that stuff turn into her.
Salam Remy says he hopes her music will live on and become a source of inspiration to others. Well, right now, the singer's music does seem set to live on. Sales of her songs have soared since her death, and as Nina dos Santos reports, nearly 5 years after its release, her last album is flying off the shelves.
Yes, I've been black, but when I come back.
Terrifically talented, but tragically troubled. The legacy of singer Amy Winehouse lives on in her music.
This is World One, live from London. Let's get a check now of the weather conditions. A newly formed tropical storm is battering the Philippines, and at least 7 people are now known to have died. Meteorologist Jennifer Delgado is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Jen.
Hi, Monita, that's right. And reportedly 11 fishermen are missing. And this is after the Philippines has been dealing with this tropical storm that developed about 6 hours ago. They're dealing. Just be happy you're enjoying the comfortable 20s right now. We'll see some clouds around, but overall, not a bad day over there for you guys.
Not a bad day at all. Thanks a lot for that,
You're
Jen.
welcome.
You're watching World One live from London.
Admitted to carrying out the terror attacks in Norway, told a judge on Monday he worked with 2 other cells in the run-up to the massacre. Anders Breivik is also the apparent author of an online manifesto that talks of close links with far-right groups outside Norway. We want to bring in Blanka Kolinkova from IHS Global Insight, a company that looks at international risks and security. Blanka, thank you very much for being with us. How big of a risk is this the ideology of far-right extremism?
Well, in Europe in recent years and months, far-right extremism and populism is on the rise. It is then mainly because of economic worries, because of increased immigration. So this ideology is getting more and more supporters.
And what are you hearing about not only just the ideology that is getting more supporters, but the potential acts of terror that we've been seeing, that we saw in Norway?
It is very difficult to say. Something what happened in Norway took years of preparation. So
yeah, we're just looking at some of the statistics that we have here on CNN.com as well. You know, the Danish party, People's Party, has 25 seats in parliament. Sweden's Democrat Party has won about 5.7% of the vote in the 2010 elections. And this is just a small number of the other countries as well that do have a strong showing, and I guess to say have representation within the government in itself. There is obviously some sense of backing within the general public, that perhaps the ideology has some backing within the general public. And I guess I'm just wondering, you know, is there a fear that this could grow?
The backing will always be there, especially during these times when there are still economic worries.
Thank you very much for that. Welcome back. We are back with some really good news. If you're a fan of American football, Pedro Pinto's here to share it all with us.
Oh, yes. That's why I'm here.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay,
I share the news. Have I? No, not really. Let the games begin. The NFL lockout came to an end on Monday night in the United States after team owners and players agreed to the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement.
Championship. Okay. All right, Pedro,
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're watching World One live from London.
As millions of Somalis teeter on the brink of starvation, help is finally on its way.
But the question many people are asking is it too little, too late?
To many in East Africa right now, food aid is the difference between life and death. On Tuesday, the UN World Food Programme starts airlifting aid supplies to famine victims. A spokesperson for the World Food Programme. She joins us now from Rome via Skype. Francis, thank you very much for being with us. And we understand that the children are in stage 4 of malnutrition and that they have a 40% chance of surviving.
The situation on the ground is critical. What our staff are seeing there is this flow of people out of the epicenter.
All right, Francis Kennedy of the World Food Programme, thank you so much.
Millions of people are at risk of starvation, as you've been hearing, in the Horn of Africa, but there are ways you can help. If you go to our website, cnn.com/impact. World One, live from London, I'm Zain Virgin.
I'm Monita Rajpal. We thank you for joining us. News Stream with Christy Lou Stout is next, right here on CNN.